So that happened. Welcome to the 8th episode of Gozes on the Go.
And we start out connecting with Connecticut.
We did a tour of Connecticut this week, and when we last left you, one of us was getting geared up to go skydiving. We're going to share that footage with you right now.
A big thank you to Skydive Danielson for sponsoring this experience for us.
And that is my favorite part. Well, my favorite part is not exactly jumping out of the airplane, but I did enjoy doing the somersault there as we bailed out. And I had a great time. And you gotta know here, I am not a person who likes falling. I can't stand it. I hate the feeling of having your stomach go into your throat when you drop. I don't know that I would bungee jump, but I love skydiving. It is nothing like falling. There's a gust of wind that helps support you as you're dropping down, so it doesn't feel like dropping. And as you're flying, it's like soaring. It's like flying. I trust the person who's on my back because I know they want to make it to the ground too, and they know what they're doing. So I had a great time. This is Alex. He took me on the skydive.
What about you? Would you go skydiving? I am going to. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to.
I think I've talked Dennis into it. And you got to realize he doesn't like getting on airplanes, let alone skydiving. But I think we've got him talked into it. I had so much fun.
I asked her to take a look at the roof of the RV, and I didn't know she was going to do it.
I did, and there's no leaks. It looks really good.
And here's a place called Indian Falls where there's a legend about Indians jumping off of it without a parachute.
There's just a pretty sight there in Connecticut. And then
sail away Agia. Now here we went on a little Sunday morning cruise out of Mystic, Connecticut on an old sailboat. And they don't have many sailboats like this anymore making cruises around here. But there it is. A big thank you to Sail Away for providing us with the cruise. Oh, and we had to pull some strings. We had to pull our own weight here.
They asked for some volunteers, and guess who raised their hands? Oh, I want you to notice that it took one person to do one side and two on the other. That's Sky right there. And they are incredible. We have a little story about Sky when we didn't realize that we actually have a friend in common. And so we were, of course, sailing, and we got to talking to Sky, and we mentioned that we have a friend in Wilmington, Delaware, who loves to sail. And it turns out Sky knows our friend Shay. Small world.
And we saw some lighthouses on this little tour. You saw one of them there earlier. Interesting stories about those lighthouses. Now this bridge coming up,
yes,
it's not a drawbridge. It's technically called some other kind of bridge.
It's a counterweight bridge.
And it's got those big concrete blocks that pull up the bridge. Delicately balanced.
And then the boats can get by.
And from there we went to a little powwow in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Right.
Native Americans dancing. This was a competition. They performed in various styles. This was
This is the blanket dance.
The blanket dance.
And this is a fancy shawl dance.
They had a smoke dance. They had a grass dance. They had the jingle dance. They're wearing these jingly things, bells.
And this is all at the Wigwam Festival. We were lucky enough and very honored to be able to witness this and to see these people continuing the traditional dances and the traditions of the Native Americans. We felt very honored to be allowed to be a part of this.
This is called what they call the fancy dance competition,
dances.
and it was fancy.
Their regalia is incredible, and their agility and their movement. I think the fancy dance is my favorite. And this is the men's fancy dance. They have women's too. And this is the Mohegan Sun, which is part of the Native American tribal lands. And we got to stay the night there.
And I got to do some exercise.
Yeah, there's my spy cam.
On to Franklin, Massachusetts, where we had a show, and this was the little sculpture park in Franklin.
We have a thing for sculpture parks. Dennis is doing this.
I do my fluky musician bit. I have to do those fluky musician videos there.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, art. I am inspired by art. I love going to sculpture gardens.
So we're going to make artistic curtains.
Our RV getting some new curtains, so I'm picking out the fabric. I'll show you a little bit more of what we picked out and how it all turns out later. We did 3 shows in Massachusetts, and then we found ourselves a belfry.
An old belfry in Lexington.
That's in Lexington.
Historic battle site there.
And then we took off. We are heading up to Maine. We kind of bypassed New Hampshire, and we have landed in Maine. And next week we're going to be showing you more about our adventures in Maine.